I'm out here today, and it's a very warm day in July, and today is kind of a special day. So I'm testing out a new gun, at least new to me, but also just generally a new gun. But I'm also doing it in my gym clothing. So usually about 2 to 3 times a year, I try to go out and shoot wearing the clothing that I'm wearing for certain activities that I do. And while I'm still a fat guy, I lift weights like 5 days a week. I'm in gym clothing a lot, and I carry a gun while in gym clothing. Now, it's not in the fanny pack like it used to be. It's on my person, and it has been for about 2 years now via a concealment belt. And I'll link that down below. But I thought, this would be a great day for testing out this new Revolver while also wearing my gym clothing. Because it's a gun that so far, I haven't shot it yet. I've just done dry fire with it. I've really enjoyed it between various qualities that make it just a very good value for the money. But we're going to get on to it. So what are we shooting today? Well, we have the Heritage Manufacturing Roscoe. This is just a Taurus Model 85 with a couple of improvements and a couple of weird changes. All I've done to it so far is dry fire the hell out of it and then install some Packmeyer grips. The factory grips that came on this gun were too small, and I knew I wouldn't like them. I don't see any point in bashing them if I know I don't like them and I can swap them out for 30 bucks for better grips. So, yeah. I'll be doing some shooting with it here from concealment using a JM Custom Kydex holster. It's one made for J-frames, so the gun fits, but it's not a great fit. It's safe and secure. I don't feel like I'm going to have it fall out or have any sort of, accidental or negligent issues happen today, but I've had to modify the holster a little bit. I'm going to buy a proper one for it because I can see keeping this gun. And, an 85 holster will work on the 856, or at least most 856 models too. So, yeah, I have 5 rounds of 148 grain Federal wad cutter in here. And I'm just to 5 yards. I just want to see how the gun hits to the sights here. The sights on the gun are actually pretty good for it being a traditional J-frame style gun, but still I want to see how it goes. So we're just going to come up here and shoot. So 5 rounds there. Yep, 5 rounds there. And let's go take a look here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. You can see one's a little bit wider there. With the wad cutters, I leave nice clean holes. Obviously, I was shooting not quick, but not taking my time there. And all of the hits are inside the 10x ring. The trigger pull on this gun, when I first got it was pretty bad. But just dry firing it and lubricating the gun, it's slicked up quite a bit. If you're familiar to a J-frame, and I'll do this before I reload the gun, we have the stacking and then like a defined wall and then bam. But if you just get used to pulling through, it's very, very slick. Now that was 148 grain Federal wad cutter. I have 158 grain lead round nose plus a 135 grain Magtech round that slipped in here. Went too quick on that first speed strip and we lost a round. So I'm gonna reholster here. Same deal. There's gonna be a little bit smokier just because I know that this 158 grain lead round nose is fairly smoky ammo. And then it should be a little bit more kerpow for that jacketed round here. So I'm just gonna come up. So yeah. The extraction for this gun's pretty good. I'm working on a first impressions and a review article, but we have no chamfering on the cylinder. I know it's hard to see with the sunlight, but there's no chamfering here on the cylinder. It just means that, generally speaking, getting rounds in here is not going to be as easy as something like a nice Smith & Wesson. However, this is a gun that MSRP is, goodness, $380. I paid, I think it's $365. That's not very much. It's half the price of a comparable steel J-frame that's new. I paid $283 for mine. So I'm going to take a couple steps back here to 7 yards. And I just want to see how it hits here. Same deal as before, 158 grain lead round nose, and then one of those, I want to say it's Winchester 135 grain, but it might be another company, but it's one of the flat-nosed jacketed bullets. So just come up here, come up. Get those rounds out of there. And I have no more ammo on my pockets. And again, I'm wearing gym clothes, so I've got 2 pockets on either side of my hips here, which means I have to reload via the fanny pack that I wear across my chest. So I'm not normally carrying 25 rounds of revolver ammo here. I'm generally carrying 5 in the gun, 5 in my right pocket, and then an extra speed strip of 5 in the fanny pack when I am carrying the J-frame as my gym gun. But I've had to make a concession for being out here in the range to have more ammo on me, so I'm not constantly running back to the truck. So it opened up a fair bit here. Again, I was still going relatively quickly, but one thing I want to give credit to is just that the rear sight notch is just a little bit deeper than the average J-frame. Compared to my 442, it's just a little bit deeper. It's easier to get a sight picture on this. So yeah, I'm going to reholster here. While we're at close distance, I'm going to do a little bit of retention shooting. So we're going to come up with the gun, left hand goes behind the head, and then shoot from retention. So just come up here and get those rounds out of there. Top off again from the fanny pack. And I'm doing a modified version of the Mossad Ayub stress fire reload. Obviously, that technique was designed with larger revolvers and speed loaders in mind. However, I like the technique. The thing I do that's a little bit different is he does one firm slap to get the rounds out. The issue with shooting this with J-frames is that with this shorter extractor ejector rod, it usually requires a couple of whacks to get rounds out of there just because the rod's shorter, so there's less leverage there. But yeah, coming up shooting from retention, no issues there. And we're going to go back to 10 yards here. And I put 5 rounds of lead round nose in there. That was all lead round nose. There's no mixture. And we're just going to see how it does at 10 yards. So come up. And I opened up a fair bit there, although that was all me. I was trying to go quicker than I should have been. And I have 1 round that went off paper there. This is an excuse. So 1, 2, 3, then 4, and I think whenever there's 5. With being in gym clothing, it's not like I threw on gym clothing, left the house, came shooting. I hit the gym this morning, so I'm a little fatigued from that, but that's no excuse for this. But yeah, first 25 rounds through the Roscoe. I like this gun. I actually like it more than I thought I would. I thought it would just be another slapdash tourist gun that, you know, their guns are generally not bad, but they're not usually very impressive either. But for the price on this gun, I've been really happy with it. So I think what we're going to do here is shoot a Werner 5x5 and then go from there. So thanks for watching.